Good evening, students. I have already shown in the previous video, I have said that when you write an answer of 20 marks, then you need to write lots of points before coming to the exact answer, like about the author, historical background, the social background, and then some of the summaries. So in today's video I'm starting with the summary part. Okay, once I complete with the summaries, then I will start solving the questions. Now Wuthering Heights, a detailed summary with critical comments, as we see. Now first, chapter 1 summary. The novel begins with Lockwood relating the story in the first person of his first visit to Wuthering Heights in 1801. Mr. Lockwood, the new tenant, he was किराए पे रहते थे, of Thrushcross Grange calls on his solitary neighbor. Now, who is solitary? What is the meaning of the word solitary? The lonely person. And landlord, Mr. Heathcliff of Wuthering Heights. Wuthering signifies atmospheric tumult. मतलब there was an climatic issues. And the house, as Lockwood describes, has been strongly built to withstand the wild stormy wind. Why we are talking about the climatic scenario here while explaining about the house? Because like in Western countries, the houses are made in a way that it can cope up with the climate. In the similar manner, the house here in India is made the way it can cope up with the climate of India. So as this is the actual scenario, while we built a house according the climatic condition of that place. In the same manner, in this novel also, the house where the person was coming to live as a tenant, there this house was made in such a way that the house can combat if there happens any wild wind or stormy wind. The front is decorated with Grotesque carvings. Now, Grotesque's carvings is one of the pattern of carvings, or rather design of a house, among which the name of Hareton Earnshaw and the date 1500 also appear. That means this design came from the era of 1500, where most of the houses in that place used to have this specific carvings or designs. Lockwood is eager to know the history of this old house. This house is actually very old, ancient, but he is curtly received by Heathcliff and then taken into the family sitting room. तो वो चीज़ पूछने के पहले उनको लेके गया सिटिंग रूम में. लॉकवुड हैज़ अ गुड आई फॉर डिटेल. उनका नज़रिया बहुत शार्प था. ही यूज्ड टू ऑब्जर्व एवरीथिंग वेरी minutely and provides a vivid description of the outside of the house. He also collected the information outside the house, how the environment is. The family sitting room under Heathcliff. The apartment is furnished to suit a homely farmer. तो घर देख के समझ में ही आ रहा है, the person who is the owner of this house is not very rich, okay, but very homely atmosphere. Feels like being in a family. Feels like being at home. Heathcliff himself is dark-skinned and gypsy-like in appearance, but a gentleman in dress. Dress में he dress in a very gentleman way, but overall उनका शक्ल is like a gypsy and इनका skin का tone was very dark. He is erect and handsome. He was very nice, structured man. He looks very handsome, but morose and surly. But कहीं ना कहीं handsome हो जो भी हो, he looks very tired or lazy. Heathcliff leaves Lockwood with a fierce pointer bitch and 2 grim sheepdog to accompany Joseph, the famous old servant. That means Joseph was the old servant of that house, to the cellar to fetch wine. Wine ढूंढने जा रहा है, तो दोनों एक संग निकल गए. Now, why they are going to fetch wine? Because in Western culture, like in Indian culture, it's a custom that we give water when any person comes to our house from outside. In the same manner in Western culture, it's a tradition. When they come to your house, you greet them with wine. Lockwood's behavior irritates the dog and they attack him. He is hit by the housekeeper. मतलब his all over appearance was such that the dog was also getting angry and started barking, and they attacked Lockwood. तो Lockwood को housekeeper ने बचाया. However, Heathcliff shows no sympathy. He offers wine to Lockwood and talks intelligently on various subjects. बहुत सारे बातें किया इधर का उधर का, but makes it clear कि Lockwood is actually not welcome again at the Heights. और ये भी बात करते करते समझा दिया कि Lockwood यहाँ पे आए ये किसी को पसंद नहीं हो रहा है. Emily Bronte, we will realize as the novel proceeds. Now, this is the summary of the chapter. Now we have to critically comment on that summary. Has begun the story in medias res, मतलब स्टोरी बीच से शुरू हो रहा है, धीरे धीरे आगे बढ़ेगा तो पूरा स्टोरी समझ में आएगा. At this point, it is a straightforward first-person narrative in diary form with Lockwood and Heathcliff are the main character. इन दोनों के बारे में ही हम पूरा स्टोरी में बात करेंगे because they are the main character. There is an indication of something strange as well as violent in the description of Wuthering Heights. Wuthering Heights is actually a building. Lockwood's encounter with the dogs produces an unease in the reader's mind. Reader already समझ में आ गया कि इस बंदे को कुत्ते के संग कुछ प्रॉब्लम है. Dogs doesn't like him either. He irritates others. Vibes, मतलब his vibes is very negative towards other. It may be an animal, it may be a human being, which is actually not dispelled despite the sociable conclusion of the visit. Visit of the conclusion, मतलब they have offered wine and everything as a tradition of Western culture they are going on. But ultimately, Emily Bronte has made us understood that Lockwood is actually not welcomed in that family, or rather in that house. In the description of the house, there is already reference to narrow window, deeply set in the wall. Windows assume symbolic importance as the novel proceeds. इस novel का एक एक word, एक एक sentence bears meaning. So as we go proceed with the novel, we will also study. In next video, I'll start with the chapter 2 summarization. Thank you, and please do subscribe because I am lacking behind with the subscribers, and if you subscribe and if you understand my teaching, please do subscribe so that it can motivate me. Thank you.